The NXTPaper 14 was the first device I reviewed on this channel, and here we are 9 months later. And even though it's not the most powerful tablet out there, I still get a lot of use out of it, and it's still one of my favorite devices that helps me stay focused and productive. So if you're interested in getting this tablet for yourself or as a gift for someone else, stick around to find out if it might be the right choice for you. But first, welcome to Neighborly Tech. Here we focus on user experience and digital wellness instead of the numbers on a spec sheet. In fact, the channel was called No Spec Tech back then. I just did a brand change because I'm edgy, like Madonna. In a world of affordable iPads and Galaxy tablets, why would you want to go with something like the TCL NXTPaper? Well, for me, it's the 3 different display modes that you get for a crazy good price. First, we have regular mode, and that's pretty much what you'd expect from any tablet. Except this one has a matte anti-glare screen. It's bright enough to use outside on a sunny day. It gets dim enough to read in a dark room without interrupting someone's REM cycle or novellas. So with the standard mode, it looks like a normal tablet, just without the reflection. Next, we have my favorite, color paper mode. It simulates the color e-ink tablets out there, like the Kindle Colorsoft or the Remarkable Paper Pro. Those are much more expensive, like double the price sometimes. And they have that harsh refresh that really takes me out of the moment if I'm trying to read or take notes. That's not an issue with this tablet. So in that color paper mode particularly, I like being able to highlight or write in color to visually organize my to-do lists or my calendars without being oversaturated by color. If they sold this thing with only the color paper mode, I think it would still be worth it. But it is fun to switch between the modes and see the little visual they give you and a fun little sound to go along with it. I've seen people selling the NXTPaper tablet on eBay for more than they cost on Amazon, and I've seen third-party sellers on Amazon for more than they cost as well. So what I'm doing is linking the actual TCL seller in the description, which should give you the best price and won't cost you anything extra. It's an affiliate link, which is like a referral, so Amazon is forced to pay me a little bit of their profit, which they can totally afford. Next, we have the ink paper mode. Basically a black and white screen. I don't use this one as much, but it's the best for distraction-free e-reading, and you can even use it to turn online articles black and white for more of that newspaper-like look. Okay, let's move on to writing and note-taking, which is really why I purchased this. For taking notes, I prefer this over the iPad. In terms of the writing feel, it's much better than I would have expected for a tablet at this price point, especially this size at this price point. The matte display is really tough to beat, and you get a little bit of that grit. Not as much as you would with an e-paper tablet, but I got rid of my iPad Pro, I got rid of my Kindle Scribe, because I just ended up liking this tablet so much more than those. One thing I'll say about writing is that the app matters. I tried about 12.5 writing apps, and the one that I've ended up going to the most is called JNote. It's $12 for a lifetime license, as of this recording. Google Keep and OneNote, Microsoft's app, those both work great too. I've used a PDF planner, and it's super easy to set up. Just open a PDF in your writing app of choice, and you're good to go. A lot of people asked about palm rejection as well. For a couple months there, I was taking it to daily meetings, and only about 5 or 6 times did I notice an issue if I were to guess. So palm rejection is definitely strong enough on this tablet. And like, I'm forgetting to breathe because am I nervous? You're making me nervous. I'm gonna drink some Ovaltine. I just love Ovaltine. Not sponsored. Okay, what else is on this script? Now the T-Pen. The truth is, it's not anything to write home about, no pun intended. Why would I write that in a frickin' script? You know, if you're used to using an Apple Pencil, this is gonna feel kind of cheap. But I've been using it for months now, and I forgot that I thought it felt kind of cheap. It doesn't charge wirelessly like the Apple Pencil Pro. It also doesn't turn on automatically when you remove it from the magnetic case. I probably charge it every 5 times I use the tablet. It's literally never run out of battery. I have not changed the pen tip at all. After 8 months of use, and I was using it very heavily the first couple of months, the pen tip is still good. Let's get into the moment I fell in love with this tablet, and that was when I first used it for multitasking. I believe I was looking up a recipe, then I was able to pull my grocery list up next to it. At the same time, you can pull up multiple apps. You can even have a floating screen and a YouTube video playing in the corner. That's doing a lot, but if you needed to do that for whatever your reasoning is or whatever your enjoyment is, you can do it on this tablet, and the fact that it's 14 inches instead of 11 makes a huge difference. Since I did my previous review on this tablet, the iPad has had an awesome software update where you can multitask a lot more easily, but this tablet, due to its size and due to its price, I think it's a better option for most people. And it comes with the pen included. So it just, all around, I'm obviously a fan of it. So who is this for? When you're going to college and you're really struggling to afford stuff because college is crazy expensive, this could be a lifeline for some people who are like, now I need a laptop. More and more textbooks are getting digital or virtual. On this tablet, you can have a textbook up on one side and you can have your notes up on the other. If you're someone who wants to travel light, then this works. But that also brings me to where I think the real budgetary value lies. You can use this as a laptop replacement on its own. It's big enough. This has been a great laptop replacement for me in a number of ways. I use this portable keyboard that folds up and it came with this mouse, and that's the one I've been using most consistently for a couple years at this point with different devices. I've done my finances in Excel on this tablet. It's lightweight, things that I don't even notice because they're working the way they're supposed to. When it comes to reading, I will say that for reading comic books, this thing looks amazing. I think the color paper mode kind of looks comic booky and suits that medium really well. And for regular e-reading, it's fine in any mode, but color paper is my favorite because it's meant to be more comfortable for your eyes. And there are a number of tools built into the settings to help you configure it to what's most comfortable for you. Another cool thing about this tablet over some e-ink competition, if you're not getting a Kindle, they have the Remarkable Paper Pro and they have the NXTPaper Note A1. Those don't have a Kindle app available. You can find a workaround for it, but you can just download the Kindle app from the Play Store on this tablet, and it's basically an enormous Kindle. I've had it at max brightness outside on a sunny day, and I've had no issue with visibility. Unfortunately, the camera is picking up some darkness on the sides of the screen that doesn't really exist in person. I personally like it more than the brighter screens that are very reflective. I'm clearly a fan of matte screen, but I broke it. Imagine. And like I mentioned, it gets dim enough too, so reading in a dark room shouldn't interrupt anyone else's movie or their rest. I have the NXTPaper 11 Plus as well, and I like using that as a handheld tablet more often. If I have desk space, or if I'm going to be watching anything, or if I want to multitask, I'm coming to the NXTPaper 14. I don't care that there are slightly better specs on the NXTPaper 11 Plus. I don't notice that in day-to-day use. What I do notice is the screen real estate. So I would always recommend the NXTPaper 14 for somebody who's looking for something that's a little more versatile all around. And if somebody's looking for more of a handheld type of tablet, 11 Plus is an awesome tool that now comes with the cover, which it didn't when I first reviewed that tablet. And another thing with an iPad, again, the 13-inch model is just so much more expensive. I don't like having all of my devices connected. So if you have an iPhone, maybe an iPad makes more sense, but I don't like having that connectivity. And speaking of complementary tech, if you use a Windows computer, you can use this tablet as a second monitor wirelessly. It doesn't work with Mac or Linux. I'll go ahead and put some instructions on how to do that. Follow these steps and you should be good to go. Because I don't want to interrupt the flow of the video like I already have, and like I'm still doing because I can't stop myself. And some people in the comments have also said everybody has a laptop or an extra $100 to spare, but that's not the case for a lot of people. It's worth appreciating what you're lucky enough to have, and maybe the people around you have always been lucky enough to have, but that's not the life everybody's living. Enough with my rant, I'm so sorry, but I think that's important to say, and I'm gonna keep it in the video, as you know, because you just watched it. Okay, and this is what the camera looks and sounds like, which I've used for Microsoft Teams and Zoom calls. You can also use USB-C headphones with a microphone or Bluetooth headphones. I'm using the ones that kind of go over the ear because I just don't like sticking things in my ear. And these are cheapo ones, so this is what it sounds like. And the speakers kind of suck in general, so I recommend using earbuds, especially if you're listening to music or watching a movie. The hardware, what you get for what you're paying, includes the cover, it includes the T-Pen. So again, I always talk about the value when it comes to this tablet because I think the tablet looks great. I think it feels great. If you're not comparing it side by side to some of the more expensive options, you're not really going to know what you're missing out on. But I use more expensive devices and I still go back to this for a number of reasons. The most popular thing I would say that's come up in my comments is using this for sheet music. Apparently, the combination of its size and the matte display is a really big selling point, and the comments about it have been overwhelmingly positive. Someone who was interested in using this for sheet music asked if you could stand it up vertically. With the case it comes with, you cannot. But this kickstand here, if you put it just below the camera, it works as a vertical kickstand, but it comes just a little bit beneath the tablet, and you can get it back in the case if you put it this way. This is because I tried to use a MagSafe kickstand, it didn't work. I'm assuming that you're going to be using it for conducting, and you know, if you're going to be like hopping and bopping, if you're going to be passionately wanting, I'm so sorry, am I being offensive? But it feels pretty sturdy. I just would not trust it for a live performance like this, but like this, I would. I spent way too much time on that. Another question I got a lot about this tablet was whether or not the storage is expandable. No, it is not. It comes with 256 gigs of storage and that's it. So I think 256 gigs is enough. If the 256 gigs of storage is a deal breaker for you, you can use something like this to charge the device, but you can also plug in a USB thumb drive. You just go to Files, and now you see USB 3.0 card reader. So even with all of the multitasking and using it as a laptop, I think that it has a really great battery. I've used it for several hours at a time. Honestly, probably has never gotten below 30%. So the website says you can get 10.5 hours of video playback, and I absolutely believe that. Let's talk about entertainment and gaming. This is such a terrible transition. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote this. But with that said, I also use this for fun. If I'm in the kitchen cooking something, I like to have something playing in the background for entertainment. I've had it on like the bathroom sink playing a TV show while I take a bath. Just my NXTPaper tablet and my bubble bath. I love retro gaming. Super Nintendo was my jam. The Game Boy, you know, I'm freaking in my 30s and love Pokemon. It's a millennial for you. I have a freaking retro gaming console. Any game you could want, you got to figure out how to get it, you know, look it up on Reddit to find the ethical ways of obtaining them. What are they saying? Everything I use with this tablet in particular, I've kind of gathered together to be this budget setup that's just convenient for me. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're getting something out of this review. My goal is to help you make better digital decisions for your wallet and mind. And I don't recommend every product I review. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps out with a small channel like this. Let's talk about the cons a little bit. The speakers. If I had to pick a low point for this tablet, the speakers would definitely be it. If you're an artist and this is something you want to take seriously, then I don't think the NXTPaper 14 would be the right investment for you. You're going to want to spend more money on something like the iPad Air or the iPad Pro. What you gain in the lack of reflectivity, you kind of lose in terms of viewing angles. Once you get to a certain point, it's almost like there's a privacy screen there. It's not going to be as bright or color accurate as some competitors, but it's more than good enough for the everyday user. My expectations were pretty low. But this is one of the rare cases, especially today, where I feel like you're getting a lot more than you pay for. But also has the hidden benefit. When I use this tablet, the notifications are minimal because there are less apps. The colors actually help me stay on track better than I would with a laptop, better than I would with any other tablet. I'm just more present in what I'm actually doing. So in a world where we can't help but allow ourselves to be distracted, I keep going back to this tablet when I need to focus. Writing, productivity, paying bills, and of course the fun stuff too. I can do all the basics on this one device. Even though I have much more capable devices, it's the limitations that come with this budget tablet that I think set it apart in a very positive way. But also ask yourself if you really need it. I don't like people buying things that they don't need. So better digital decisions, wallet in mind, starting today. But thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you got something out of this video and that you visit again sometime. Have a beautiful day. Let's organize my papers. Yes. Banter. This is how fancy people's mouths go.